Most of the time, going to the lake is a nice, leisurely activity. But we're not going to cover that tonight. We're going to cover when going to the lake is a disgusting, putrid, caustic, deadly experience. Here's 5 of the world's weirdest lakes on Deep Fat Fried.
Deep Fat Fried!
Weird lakes.
You're going to call it what it's actually named now, huh? You've been gaslighting me, calling it mini lakes for the last 10 minutes.
This looks like a mini lake to me.
That's a pretty big ass fucking lake, bro.
That's a mini lake, dude.
It would take your ass all day to circumnavigate that lake.
Oh, shit, dude. I could do that lake in 20 minutes. 20 minutes flat. A doggy paddle around that shit, dude. No problem.
A little tiny lake. Look at it.
Well,
I could run that lake in like 5 seconds. 5 seconds, I'd be done.
So this is actually, you guys may not know this, but this is actually in Louisiana. It's actually a site where TJ ate a massive amount of Mexican food and then drank a prodigious amount of Pepto-Bismol. Puked. Yeah. And what you're seeing here is the 1.5 mile long, mile wide contents of his giant fucking flubbery stomach.
Wow.
Just kidding.
I remember that day.
Oh yeah.
Never mind. I don't.
This is not in Louisiana. This is Lake Hillier in Australia. It's bubblegum pink. Discovered in 1802 by navigator and cartographer Matthew Flinders, who took samples from the lake and mentioned its existence in his journal. Lake is located on Middle Island off the coast of Western Australia. So Hillier Lake is quite small. 606 meters wide, 250 meters around, surrounded by eucalyptus and paperback trees.
So it's like a mini lake.
A small lake.
It's a little mini lake there.
It's a small lake.
You call it small. I call it mini.
So, yeah. Why is it pink though? What's going on here?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Would you swim in it? That was the first question.
Well, it depends on what's making it pink.
You can swim in it.
If you can swim in it?
It's extremely salty. It's actually saltier than I am, if you can believe it. It's
that's hard to believe.
Comparable to the Dead Sea. 10 times more salty than both the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. So
don't drink the water.
Don't drink the swim. Pink, But you could...
Cool thing about super salty water like that is its buoyancy becomes like insane.
Yeah, you can just float on top of it pretty easily.
So I can walk on water here? Okay, I definitely want to go.
There's actually been people who's postulated that maybe Jesus walked on the Dead Sea because it was so salty that he was actually able to be buoyant enough to balance on it. But it's more likely they just made that shit up. So
I would say so.
That's the more reasonable explanation. But I have heard people say it.
I guess for a while they were trying to use this as a place they mined salt, but they couldn't get the salt to not be pink, I guess, because of it's a fungus.
Okay.
Ooh.
But it's a non-toxic fungus to human beings. You can swim in it, you can be in it, it's fun, but you really can't because nobody can get to the island. It's like a protected fucking nature preserve or some shit, and so
the government yet again coming in and stopping people from having fun on this little island and this little mini lake.
The best you can do if you actually
swim in the pink water.
The best thing you can do if you actually want to swim in this lake is hire a fucking helicopter to fly you around it, which people do, I guess.
Sounds fucking lame, dude. I'm hire a helicopter to let me fucking drop down and fucking play in the fucking pink lake.
Nope. So the exact cause of Lake Hillier's distinctive bubblegum or strawberry milkshake color is not quite known for sure, but most scientists do agree it probably has something to do with the presence of a specific species of microalgae. This is it here. Dunalea salina, salt-loving photosynthetic microorganisms. Yeah. Generate energy by using other parts of visible light spectrum, except in orange-red frequencies. So it's able to tolerate very high salt, ranging from 0.2% to as much as 35% salinity, which is right around what Lake Hillier is.
Damn.
So they produce carotenoid pigments called beta carotene, also found in carrots, that are thought to give rise to that bubblegum coloration in the lake's water. D-salina is an extremophile, so it's an organism that thrives in environments that most others can't tolerate. So most other like fish and animals can't even touch this lake. But
oh yeah, let's see it move to Detroit, Michigan, huh? There you go.
wow,
Just casting aspersions at Detroit. Why not?
wow, TJ.
Wow. What'd I do?
Why don't you go swim in the fucking Flint River, whatever the fuck that is, TJ?
Yeah, maybe I will.
You know what, dude? Go swimming with some of these other lakes that I'm covering tonight when we get to them.
Okay.
I'll tell you which one to jump into.
All right, you tell me.
All right, you'll know. I think you'll know, but I'll let you know.
So what's going on with Lake Hitler or whatever it's called?
Lake Hitler? Lake
I don't know.
It's
Lake
Hillier,
Hillier.
Hillier,
yeah,
right, right.
The pink shit in there, basically, it's the same shit that makes flamingos pink.
Is
Cool.
So it's like the same kind of algae that makes flamingos' feathers turn pink. Flamingos are not naturally pink.
That's right, because flamingos, they get pink because of their diet. They eat the little fucking plankton or whatever.
Dude, if we wouldn't eat all this shit, would humans turn pink too? We have like pink humans. Is that
We can't
possible?
find out because the only lake that's exactly like this, we can't go swim in it.
Fucking bastards.
It's in Australia, right? So, like, look, the U.S. and Australia to make a deal, send some U.S. researchers, namely us, over there, and see if we can make pink people.
It's off a fucking island on Australia too. It's like you can't get to this fucking thing. But
yeah, you get eaten by box jellyfish or something.
it isn't the only pink lake in the world. There's another one off the coast of Senegal called Lake Retba or Lac Rose, as it's known by its locals. Color is especially visible during the dry season and less during the rainy season. Like Lake Hillier, its pink color is caused by D-salina, has extremely high salinity. So this lake is frequently used to harvest salt. So I guess they don't care about the pink D-salina shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, it didn't even make sense when you said it before, because I'm like, I got pink salt in my fucking kitchen right now. So, like, who cares? Pink salt's good.
I don't give a fuck, yeah. It's like Himalayan sea salt or whatever.
Yeah, pink salt's dope.
Fungus
you,
pink salt.
Fuck you, pink. It's not a fungus, it's an algae.
Same
same.
thing.
Okay, TJ, whatever.
Whatever,
What?
TJ. Algae, fungus.
Algae, fungus,
Potato,
plankton,
potato.
It's all the fucking same shit.
It's all life, TJ.
It's little crazy shit. What do fucked up shit? You know what?
I mean, look at this fucking lake here. You don't tell me this doesn't look fucked up to you? Dude, why my question is, why has it not been used in more movies? Or like TV shows or something, dude.
Dude, it looks like Photoshop.
Environmental protection.
Oh,
shit,
the
probably.
environment yet again.
It looks like a Photoshop to me.
It does.
Yeah,
It looks fake. So like that alone is probably why they don't use it in movies, because they can probably achieve this effect like digitally without having to go to Senegal.
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude. Go to Senegal. Film this.
Go to Senegal. I mean, sure, you could just put a filter over a regular lake, but no.
Is it going to be the same thing, though? It's not.
Nah.
So TJ, let's move on to the lake that you can take a dip in.
It doesn't look very good.
The Bat Lake.
Yes.
The mummified
Paul,
bat lake.
I don't know how to tell you this, Paul, but this is not a lake. This is a fucking bat.
Wow, TJ, thank you for
You
letting me
fucked
know.
up. You fucked up.
Could have even known.
Fucked up your
Thank you
research,
for letting
Paul.
me know that, TJ. Thank you for putting me up on game. So while those pink lakes, TJ, you could go take a dip in. Tanzania's Lake Natron turns many animals unfortunate enough to enter it into statue-like figures after they're boiled alive by the hot caustic water. So this image here that we're showing is by photographer Nick Brandt, who's captured haunting images of the lake and its dead in a book titled Across the Ravaged Land. A lot of cool images from it.
Dude, that book sounds metal as fuck.
Yeah.
Photographer Nick Brand is cool as hell, dude.
he found
this is a fucking dope photo.
He found the remains of bats and flamingos and all kinds of animals with this chalky, like, sodium residue coated on the outside of them, just kind of like mummified in place.
Whoa. That's a cool ass motherfucking photo,
and
right
it kind of
there.
preserves them too. Yeah.
It's
damn.
pretty crazy.
That's a fucking album cover.
Yeah, he says, I unexpectedly found the creatures, all manner of birds and bats, washed up along the shoreline of Lake Natron. No one knows for certain exactly how they die, but the water has extremely high soda and salt content. So high that it would strip the ink off my Kodiak film boxes within a few seconds. I took these creatures as I found them on the shoreline and then placed them in living positions, bringing them back to life. So he would find them and pose them, basically.
Right. So he found this dead, whatever this is,
flamingo.
Whatever this bird is. Oh, this is a flamingo.
That's
okay.
a flamingo, yeah.
He finds this dead flamingo. He throws it. He puts it back in the water, gives it this cool pose, and is like,
there's just these death traps in nature, and water is obviously a source for a lot of these birds. They're probably migratory, and they're going, oh, yeah, water. And, of course, it's this caustic or whatever lake, and then they're fucking dead.
This water ain't your friend,
you're
bud.
dead. You're done. Sorry.
So the lake can reach 140 degrees Fahrenheit. And its average alkalinity is 10.5. Its pH surpasses 12, so it's similar to ammonia and bleach. And it's like the type of lakes that people posit exist on some like extreme planets and shit.
Looks like it. Yeah.
So it's so caustic it can burn the skin and eyes of animals that aren't adapted to it. During the Pleistocene period, a rare type of lava rich in sodium and potassium carbonates ran down the slopes of the Oldoño Lingai volcano and into this lake. Since the lake had no outflow and still received irregular rainfall, it endured thousands of years of intense evaporation from its great heat. This has allowed the lake to concentrate into a caustic alkaline brine. So really cool. Deposits of sodium carbonate, which was once used in Egyptian mummification, also acts as a fantastic type of preservative for those animals unlucky enough to die in the waters of Lake Natron, as we've seen in the pictures. Somehow, though, there are some animals that can live in this shit. You may not want to believe it. A few species of fish and invertebrates and algae manage to live on this lake. Some alkaline tilapia, which is a member of the cichlid family, I guess, can sustain themselves in the cooler parts of the lake. But to some wildlife, especially birds, Lake Natron is basically a death trap. Its surface looks like a mirror and tricks them into diving into the red waters for the fish that they see. And when they do, usually they don't come out. That's kind of like how scientists think so many animals end up in this lake. They drown in the toxic potion, and their outsides and insides calcify.
Should have rolled a perception check. Should be like, yeah, what? No, this lake ain't legit.
Well, think about it though. You see this like serene looking lake. It's like, wow, there's no other competition here. I'm gonna set up shop here. It's gonna be great. Oh, there's some fish down there.
Plus, if
tasty.
you see a fish swimming around a lake, it's like, the lake's the lake is safe. There's a fish right there,
richly stocked.
No, it's an acid fish. That fish is like, sorry, I adapted for this fucking lake.
Yeah, you got to adapt to live here.
There is one bird that is an exception to this. And as you can see them here by their color, you can probably tell.
The flamingo.
This is like the mothership of the flamingo as a species, basically.
Yeah, look at them. There's like fucking thousands.
75% of the world's population of flamingos are born on the shores of this lake.
Wow.
Because of the caustic nature of the lake, they have no predators. And they feed on the algae and cyanobacteria that make the lake pink, thus coating their feathers in it and internalizing a lot of it, and that's why they're pink. They filter out the salt through glands in their heads, and their feet and bodies are pretty much impervious to the scalding temperature of the water. They normally try and keep to the cooler areas, but they can wade into the hot soup if they have to. Their skin is tough enough to prevent burns. Flamingos are metal as fuck. Let's just be honest about it. They live in the fucking lake that literally turns everything else into a mummy.
Yeah, flamingo's just like sees the other birds drown. Ah, I'm burning. Flamingo's just like pussy.
Not only that, dude. It's like they live in such like a shitty. They have such a shitty tract of like land, well, actually water in this case, that like humans are going to try to develop this. Like, let's go to fucking boiling lava land or caustic lake and build something here. It's
Hey,
like
that's true. Flamingos are pretty fucking safe.
like yeah, like as as long
No
as
one's gonna
that's-
put a condo on this lake or anything.
yeah, like no one's interested in this. Like humanity's like ridden this off. Like this is bad. We don't want to be here.
Unless we start deciding we're gonna eat flamingos.
Oh shit.
Every other species is dead.
Let's
Let's
eat
eat
that.
flamingos.
Why not?
I think I remember reading that flamingos are nasty.
Yeah, I think they taste like
I
shit.
mean, I'm sure they probably are, but like we're gonna get to a point where we're gonna eat jellyfish and flamingos. So
Well, good. I hope I'm gone by then.
yeah, I'm about to say yeah.
me too.
Oh, I'm dead.
So let's up the metal content even farther. Let's talk about fucking blood falls, dude.
Dope.
This is you mean metal falls, dude?
Lactos dominos.
This is fucking awesome.
This is the fetid pit where Satan himself was born from his mother Lilith's stinking vagina.
Cool.
I'm just kidding. This lake, though, does run either blood or cherry Kool-Aid red, depending on what mood you're in. I'm in a metal mood after learning that flamingos live in the fucking acid lake, okay? So
Yeah.
it's blood. But
Yeah,
if
but I
you're a
guess if you
fat
wanna-
fuck and you're thirsty, that might look like refreshing, cool cherry Kool-Aid to you.
Chilled.
Either way, delicious.
So this is actually in one of the world's most extreme deserts, and maybe one of the last places you would expect to find a waterfall. But this is Antarctica's McMurdo Dry Valley. There's a 5-story fall that pours out of the Taylor Glacier into Lake Bonny. So the McMurdo Dry Valley is one of the coldest and most inhospitable places on Earth. A place scientists like to compare to the cold, dry deserts of Mars. Unlike most Antarctic glaciers, the Taylor Glacier is not frozen to the bedrock, probably because of the presence of salt. Salt is like, this is the saltisode, man. Salt does weird shit to lakes.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
So the salt
What's
that's
that?
underneath
Wait,
the
hold on.
glacier. What?
I just heard the lake say it's been doing a backwards Hadouken since 1992. Does anyone know what that means?
I'm not.
Did
I'm
it
not
really
sure.
say that? Because I have
pretty
too.
I'm pretty sure I heard it say that. You think it might have something to do with the salt content of the lake? I
Maybe
don't
it
know.
is. Maybe there is something about the salinity.
Yeah.
So the subglacial lakes is fat because its back is bent. Which is no. The subglacial lake that feeds Blood Falls is trapped beneath a 1/4 mile of ice. So, in addition to being cut off from the rest of the continent, look at this shit. It kind of looks like somebody just like a giant came along and had their period on this glacier
does.
or some shit.
It does look distinctly like menstrual blood, I have to say.
Yeah. Hence the name Blood Falls, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Fitting.
And
Or
it
maybe
is.
they should name it like Menstrual Falls.
Ooh, they should call it like Satan's cunt or something. Maybe a little
Damn.
less crude.
How are you so much better at naming things than me?
The devil's cunt. No, he is. TJ's good with names.
Yeah, the devil's cunt, dude. So the water that feeds Blood Falls completely cut off from the atmosphere. It has never seen sunlight until it comes boiling out, and is completely devoid of any oxygen. And it's also extremely rich in iron, which is churned into the water by glaciers scraping the bedrock below the lake. So it's basically blood.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a very similar composition.
It's probably blue underneath the ice, just like blood. And then when it's exposed to oxygen, the high iron content it oxidizes and turns this rusty red color. So it's literally the planet bleeding.
Damn.
Cool.
I mean, there's no hemoglobin or anything in it, so it's not
Right.
actually
It's
blood,
not,
but
yeah, but I mean, like pretty goddamn close. I mean, similar
It
process.
resembles it, yeah.
right.
Similar chemical makeup.
It's obvious why it got the name it did. Yeah.
So
I mean, it does. It looks like fucking blood. It does not look like cherry Kool-Aid. Maybe in that one shot we saw where you kind of see the light coming through it, but
it's
on the
blood.
ground here, it looks bloody.
So it was actually discovered by an Australian explorer and geologist, Griffith Taylor, in 1911. So the blood falls that feeds Lake Bonny hosts a community of at least 17 different types of microorganisms, thought to be flowing from a lake trapped beneath the ice for some 2 million years. So this groundwater network is prompting scientists to wonder whether a similar ecosystem could exist on Mars. Once again, they're using like this as a kind of like a test environment because this lake that we're talking about is, as we've said a bunch of times, hermetically sealed from the environment. But there's a bunch of microorganisms that live in it and feast on each other and shit within it. And so if this can happen on the planet Earth, there's a good chance it could happen on a similar planet. And the most similar planet we have, close by is Mars.
Man, humanity's going to fucking get more than it bargains for.
Yep. So billions of years ago, according to geological evidence, abundant water flowed across Mars and collected into pools, lakes, and deep oceans. This is actually a picture of Mars with an artist's rendition of what it would have looked like at one period in its history with its giant
pretty cool because
polar
it's got
ocean.
like one giant supercontinent kind of. I mean,
so did the Earth.
Yeah, that's true.
Earth started with the Pangaean continent and then kind of it all broken up. But it looks like Mars is kind of uniquely divided almost into half water, half land, or maybe a little more than half land and a little less than half water. It's kind of interesting. So it was only recently that Mars was discovered to have this trapped water. So new NASA-funded research shows a substantial quantity of its water, between 30 and 99%, is trapped within minerals in the planet's crust. So that challenges the current theory that due to the red planet's low gravity, its water escaped into space.
Sounds like its water just seeped into the fucking planet.
And if that's the case, there may be a number of these underwater lake environments that have been completely sealed off from the sun and the outside environment.
Which means potentially there could be life in that water.
Right. Microbial
Alien
life, plant life, possibly, that type of shit.
Don't feed the plants. I'm telling you.
Whatever they offer you.
But that's pretty cool, though. I liked this picture of Mars. So how can microbes that color blood falls survive underground with no light and no oxygen? So geomicrobiologist Jill McCookie, now at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, published what is still accepted as the best explanation for blood falls in 2009. A genetic analysis of the microbes showed that they were closely related to other microorganisms that use sulfate instead of oxygen for respiration. The best explanation is that the organisms use sulfate as a catalyst to breathe with ferric iron and metabolize the limited amounts of organic matter trapped with them years ago. So they're able to filter energy out of iron.
It's amazing what life can do,
Yeah,
Right.
it's not like, here's all you've got. Like, well, gotta make it work.
So lab experiments suggest that this could be possible, but it's never been observed in its natural environment. Obviously, we can't take a peek into a hermetically sealed lake without destroying it. So
Well, I mean, it's just like you can't fucking. You can only predict and model. You can't necessarily directly observe certain things, and especially something like this, where obviously the second you break the hermetic seal, you've destroyed.
You destroy the ecosystem. Yeah.
There's this movie called Europa Report that's about a manned mission to Jupiter's moon Europa to drill down through the ice and explore down there, and they find out that there's shit living down there that's a little smarter than microbes. Kind of a cool movie and kind of a scary movie given what we're talking about. Here's another lake, though, that TJ can go take a fucking dip in.
Oh, yeah.
What?
They go out for a swim.
All right, now this is Photoshop, dude.
How about Lightning Lake, TJ? You ready to go take a swim?
Yeah. Sure.
An electrifying swim, TJ.
Yeah. One might even call it chucking.
So in a small area of northwestern Venezuela, where the Catatumbo River meets Lake Maracaibo, you'll discover one of nature's most spectacular phenomena, the Catatumbo lightning, known as the Relampago del Catatumbo, or the everlasting storm. This wondrous natural light show rampages through the sky up to 160 nights a year for as long as 10 hours at a time. And it's not just the odd fierce strike here and there. This storm produces as many as 280 strikes an hour. So that's a record-breaking 1.2 million lightning strikes per year on this lake and around it. This amount of lightning is rivaled only by Those Who Wish Me Dead, where Angelina Jolie's character got hit by lightning not once, but twice.
Brilliant movie. Brilliant film.
Brilliant film, by the way. If you haven't seen Those Who Wish Me Dead, I can't recommend that you find something else to watch.
After that,
more strongly.
Yeah, but after that, you may wish Paul dead, unfortunately.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, well, that's why it's called Those Who Wish Me Dead. It's the people that recommend that movie to other people that are the ones who are wished dead.
Of course.
So the persistent flashes are so bright that they can be seen for up to 250 miles, and consequently were used for centuries by Caribbean navigators in colonial times, resulting in the nickname the Lighthouse of Catatumbo. We actually talked about this briefly in an episode. Like, I can't remember what it was either. I racked my fucking brain, but I think it was one of those natural disasters that you've never heard of type of shows or some shit, but I could not fucking find it or remember.
I don't recall it personally, but it is super interesting.
But we didn't discover it at length. It was part of another story or some shit.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So to add to the beauty, the flashes appear a variety of striking colors, from red to orange to blue to purple, due to the presence of varying amounts of dust and water vapor in the atmosphere. Some say that the Catatumbo lightning is unique because it doesn't produce thunder, but that's a myth. The storm occurs at such a distance from the observers, usually like 30 to 60 miles from the lake, that the thunder just isn't heard. It's just incredibly vivid because you can see for miles around and you can see this lightning striking.
Yeah.
And just continuously, like you said, 160 nights a year. I mean, you know what's crazy thing about it? It's like if I don't know if a lot of people live around this area, but if they do, it's like you just get used to, like, oh yeah, it's just the lake that's always like at this time of year is always some crazy shit going on.
You see buildings there, so people are obviously living in this area and are just.
It's kind of just a crazy thing to think about, just living around and just seeing lightning.
Dude, it would be amazing. I would love to visit this place. As you can see. Nature photographers from the world over are drawn to Catatumbo, and some of the most striking lightning pictures that you've ever seen come from this area. In fact, you've probably seen tons and tons of pictures of lightning from Catatumbo and just not known. This is
more likely.
This is not filtered. So these pictures that I pulled here are not filtered, other than, probably just general cleanup. But there's no purple filter thrown over this. There's no photographic manipulation to create the color of this lightning. It has this very pink, purple to blue makeup because of
Looks like fucking Gozer is rolling into fucking town, dude.
Yeah.
Choose the form of the destructor,
Yeah,
I love it, man.
I would love to go see this someday. I would love to just stay in the area for a few nights and just live around this and see it happen,
Lightning is probably one of my favorite things in nature, so
the storms are thought to be the result of winds blowing across Lake Maracaibo and the surrounding swampy plains. These air masses meet the high mountain ridges of the Andes, enclosing the plain from three sides. So the heat and moisture that are collected across the plains create tons of electrical charge. And as the air masses are destabilized by the mountain ridges, that causes them to burst open and release all this charge as lightning. So it's kind of just like a unique geographical formation that traps heat and then forces it up against cooler air, which, as you know, is how storms are made, right? It's hot air and cold air colliding. And so it's just something that happens constantly here because of the unique geography.
Yeah.
So
awesome fucking phenomenon. Love it. I had no idea.
Let's skip ahead a little bit because we don't have much time left, and let's do some rapid fire. Let's talk about the largest, oldest, and deepest lakes on the planet. So the next lake, it's actually one lake. It's one lake.
Yeah.
So it's a record breaker in pretty much all the categories. Most of Earth's lakes are relatively young, less than 18,000 years old, formed during the end of the last ice age. Only 20 lakes worldwide are ancient. That's more than 1 million years old. And Lake Baikal in Russia is one of those. But Lake Baikal is not only Earth's oldest lake at 25 to 30 million years of age, also its largest. So if you look at it from above, it appears impressive, but not super spectacularly so. So as you can see here, you wouldn't think like, oh, world's biggest lake. So about 25 million years ago, Lake Baikal formed through fractures and shifting within the Earth's crust. It wasn't Lake Baikal as we know it now, though. Experts believe it was a series of lakes, so more like the Great Lakes. So sinking earth, erosion, earthquakes, increased water from the melting glaciers, a mix of these factors and more created this hugely deep, broad lake. And it's not finished growing. It's still getting bigger. It's expanding at a rate of 2 centimeters every year, the same speed at which Africa and South America are drifting apart. So this lake is, just going to, we can't catch up. Russia has us beat. It's got the biggest, the oldest, and the deepest lake in one lake.
Fucking piece of shit lake. Boo.
So to sum it all up, invade Russia, take this lake, make Russia the United States of Russia.
And there's cute little seals in it, apparently.
Yeah, there's little Russian seals, and I'm sure they club them.
Look at that little Russian mustache on that Russian seal, dude.
Yeah, they don't club the Russian seal.
I bet those Russian fucking Cossack bastards club these seals at the edge of these lake. I bet they do.
Yeah. If we were in charge, we'd take care of those seals.
We would.
Those would be treasured American seals, god damn it.
And that's weird
love
lakes.
Those seals. All right. Pretty fucking cool, man. Love the lightning one. Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone. It's your old pal Mickey here with a direct order. I mean, an option that you are strongly encouraged to take advantage of. You will click the link below. You will subscribe to the Pessimist Productions Patreon. I mean, if you wanna, wink wink, there's more content there than, well, you could swing a dead toddler at. Exclusive shows, exclusive streams, hours of exclusive content. Why aren't you clicking? Why aren't you subscribing to the Pessimist Productions Patreon? You're making Mickey sad. Yeah,